Hey YouTube, it's Scandalous Dee with the Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 6 Reunion Part 1. I was here for everything, the shade throwing, the fights, everything that happened, I was here for it, so let's get into it. Andy starts off by calling Nene Lenithian Leaks, and she calls him Andrew. And Andy, I'm not gonna lie, was being shady throughout this whole episode. I mean, even more so than usual. You know, he's nothing but a queen. But you know, I did like Andy, but I wasn't here for some of the shade throwing he was doing. They asked Candy about the prenup and if Todd signed it yet, and she said no, still drawing up the paperwork. And Andy was a little bit surprised. He was like, "Wow, 8 days and he hasn't signed it yet." And they were saying how they're filming the wedding, and he was just like, "Does that add extra pressure?" And she was just like, well, "Yeah, you know, a little bit. You know, you're gonna see a lot of craziness." And I was like, okay. They asked Portia, or he asked Portia about her twins, and she was just like, "What are you talking about? I eat yams, and that's how I got my twins. You know, I finally got my twins." And he was just like, "Wait, wow, they look good." And she was just like, "Yeah, you know, just a little something, something." And I'm just like, Portia, did you really need a boob job? Really? You know, I'm not really here for plastic surgery, but if you like it, I love it. She looked fine. A lot of people are saying she got booty implants. I really hope that's not true because she really don't need, you know, surgery. Oh, talk about everybody fashion. Everybody looked good. I'm not, except for Nene. I wasn't feeling Nene hair. That hair got to go. The color of it, Nene, you are way too dark to have that color. And I noticed a lot of black women who want to wear the blonde hair. They don't know how to pick the right blonde hair. Somebody my complexion can wear that hair, you know, that blonde, but not you, Nene. Didn't like Nene's outfit. Liked Phaedra's. Didn't like the earrings, but the the blue dress was nice. Candy dress was okay. Had to grow on me. The sleeves were pretty nice. You know, Candy always best dressed at the reunion for me ever since she first came on. This is the first time I really wasn't caring for her dress, but you know, it looked alright. Portia's dress was absolutely gorgeous. I loved the hair and everything. Cynthia's dress was cool, it was nice. And Kenya's dress was nice. I'm not gonna lie, the red looked good on her. The hair was nice, but you know, I don't like Kenya. But you know, her dress was nice, I'll say that. He asked Phaedra about the charges about her and Apollo, and she just basically said, you know, she had nothing to do with it, and nobody ever said she had anything to do with it. And she basically, in my opinion, is just lying, because there's no way your husband's continually stealing other people's money, opening false identities, and stealing people's identities, stealing money, and you don't know anything about it. Didn't he go to jail for that before? Now he going to jail for it again? Like, you have to know something about it. But she lies and said that she had nothing to do with it, and Andy basically just lets it go. And they asked Nene about her lung condition, why she wasn't really a part of the season finale. She was like, yeah, you know, I'm still dealing with that. I'm still having to take medication. When I'm on the plane, I have to stand up. All this, you know, stuff that was going on with her. I was just like, oh, okay, Nene. You know, I give you that. You were a little sick. That's why you couldn't, you know, attend her play and all that. But move on. They talk about the girls twerking, and everybody was twerking, and you know, to me, I'm gonna say Portia was probably the best twerker. You know, the one I'd be like, okay, girl, you better get it. And I'm not here for Cynthia twirling. I mean, not twirling, but twerking. And you know, Nene just said a lot of things about like, oh, you know, her twerking needs some work or something like that. And they said that Cynthia, being a black woman, should be ashamed she doesn't know how to twerk. And I'm thinking, just because you black don't mean you have to automatically just know how to twerk and dance. You know, there are a lot of stiff black people. And she just basically was like, you know, twerking, that's not my thing. I'm a little stiff with it. And you know, that was that. And you know, it seemed like Nene kept giving her the cold shoulder all throughout the episode. She was just like, and Andy called her out for saying that Cynthia couldn't twerk, and she was just like, what's wrong with her twerk? And she was like, didn't we just see the video? I mean, she can't twerk at all. And I was just like, Nene, what happened between you and Cynthia? You just want to throw shade her way? Anyway, they comment on Kenya's booty and asked if anybody had ever felt and see if it was real. And it was like hearing hearing a cricket, nobody say anything. Then Kenya gonna say, well, I felt Candy's booty and it was nice and firm and it was real. And Andy was just like, okay. And Candy started laughing like, when did you feel my butt? I mean, she really was like embarrassed, and I would have been embarrassed too. Like, you ain't felt my butt, girl. Mm-mm. But Andy was just like, does it offend you that people automatically think you have booty implants? She was just like, no, people are always going to think that when you're fabulous and beautiful, but I don't have booty implants, blah, 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 this. And, Faye was just giving that face like, And I was here for it because we all know Kenya got booty implants. Come on now. That's a given. Just like her, just like Kim Kardashian, booty implants. Not knocking it, just saying. And oh yeah, favorite comments on her invisible man saying, "Oh, where's your invisible man? Your African prince." And Kenya comes on with some crap about how she has a man and how getting DICK is not a problem and how she can get it anywhere and everywhere. And if I was Phaedra, I would have been like, well, yeah, you can get it, but you the type of chick that guys just sleep with and kick to the curb when they're done because you're not wifey material, nor will you ever be a wife. All you'll be is a side hoe. All you'll be is a hoochie because that's all you are, a whore. And I would have read Kenya, but Phaedra kind of trying to keep it cute. Nene, she admitted to, or she lied and said that she didn't want to do Candy's play because she was busy or whatever. Oh, I'm sorry, she didn't say that. She actually admitted to saying that she didn't want to do Candy's play because she had done Brian Murphy's and didn't want to go back and thought she was better than, that. And, they asked Candy, were you offended by that? And she was just like, no, I wasn't offended because I know Nene don't want to work for me, but my play is successful. Tyler Perry loved it. He called me and told me he couldn't stop thinking about it. So that was that. And Candy also shaded Nene about talking about her weight. And she was just like, well, I'm not the most in shape person, but I feel like Nene is clearly should be the last person talking because if you put my body and her body together, you'll figure out which one is the biggest. And I was just like, well, yeah, Nene, you have no right to talk about anybody's weight. You're the biggest girl on set. You got liposuction 2 times and you still have rolls and flaps and you still bitter about it. You just want to throw shade at Candy because you hate on Candy. Phaedra really wasn't going in like she should. I think she doesn't really want to give Kenya the satisfaction of getting her upset, which I understand, but I still would have been reading her for days. I would have been reading her, calling her anything and everything, and I wouldn't have gave a care about it. They also asked her to take a lie detector test just to prove that she had a man, and I was loving it. I'm like, because we all know it's not true. And they said, "Is your one of the viewers asked, is your man invisible or non-existent like your acting career?" And I was like, "Ooh, that is some shade," but I'm here for it because we all know she has no career. That's why she hang on to this show so much. And she backed up with, I don't need to do that. I have a man. I don't need to prove anything. But yes, you do. Because nobody has seen him, heard of him. It's all in your mind. You're pathetic, Kenya. Portia went in talking about her African prince, saying how he's non-existent, saying that, she's fake and how she wants to basically play the victim and say that, she doesn't do anything, pretend like she's so perfect, people hate her, but people hit her below the belt when she actually does that to everybody else. And she pulls out this problem, this scepter thing, and points it toward Portia, and Portia yanks it, throws it on the floor. And if I was Cynthia, I would have been like, you gonna have to, don't point that damn thing at me because you don't want me to get into no fights. But she was just in the middle, caught in the middle, like, what do I do? And Portia took the scepter, threw it on the floor. I was like, oh my goodness. And that's when Andy should have stepped in, like, no more props. Then she pulls out a bullhorn and is just like, you will not talk over me. You will not be talking over me. And it was really annoying. And I was like, Kenya, do you really have to do all of that? Everybody was just like, Lord, all these props. Portia was preaching, going in on Kenya. Kenya called her a dumb hoe, saying how she was cheating on Cordell, and that's when Kenya got mad and got up, and they got in each other's faces. And Kenya gonna tell Portia, "That's right, get fired, get fired." And then the next thing you know, she grabbed Kenya by her hair, pulled her to the floor, and they just started tussling. Everybody started crowding around her. Everybody's just crowding around Portia. She's just like, "Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. How could I do this? I embarrassed myself. I just got fired. Oh my goodness." And I'm going through a lot right now. I just can't believe she did that. And not Portia, but Kenya goes back to her dressing room, and Andy ends up telling her, "I'm sorry for that, letting it happen." She's like, she has no right to get physical just because I said something. I'm like, you provoked the hell out of her. And Andy, how in the world are you gonna sit up there and apologize to Kenya? If anything, you need to be apologizing to Portia for not telling Kenya to keep that scepter out of her face. You've been antagonizing this girl, and now she finally snapped, and you want to tell Portia she has to apologize? I'm so tired of that. Portia, if you get fired, you need to sue the whole damn network. Sue everybody, because that's so unfair. All these other housewives fighting everything, and they want to say, "Oh, she dragged somebody on the floor, so she get fired." I believe this is all crap for Bravo. The ratings went up. They should be happy Portia did grab her hair. Like, this is the most viewed show. Like, how can they even hate her for that? But that's what it was. They send Portia home for the rest of the episode, and that's how it ended. He gets on, says, "We do not condone violence. We don't want people fighting." It's just like, y'all do. Y'all promote violence. Y'all want a good show. So I can't believe they. I really don't want Portia to go. If Portia goes, Kenya definitely better be following, because I can't stand Kenya. Whew. Anyway, that was my review. Please share it on Facebook and Twitter. Like it. Leave a comment below. I'll shout you out. Tell me what you thought. Tell me if you think Portia needs to get fired. Also follow me on Twitter at O's Midnight Love, and that's OS_midnight_LUV. Also follow me on Instagram at DrinkMeUp21. The links will be in the more info box. And I'll see you in my next video. Peace.